Have you recently failed your test because of observations? Or does your instructor keep banging on about observations? Let me tell you 5 things that you can do to improve your observations. You need to have very, very good car control. You need to know where everything is, you need to know how everything works, and you need to have used everything in different scenarios. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's really simple. With my students, in the first 4 to 5 hours, they are very comfortable driving a car. Okay, they can change up from 1st to 5th or 6th gear. They can go down from 6th gear down to 1st gear. They can go into reverse. They can control the car whilst reversing. They understand how they need to be steering. Majority, I'd say 90% of them know how to steer with one hand, which is a very important skill, although people don't teach you this. Really important. So for the first 4 or 5 hours, we're just going around in loops, going left turn, left turn, left turn, left turn, just really solidifying their controlling of the car. After 4 to 5 hours, they'd be able to go to any country where there's not a lot of rules, and they'd be able to navigate from point A to point B without much difficulty. I'm going to try pulling out from a dual carriageway. I've parked up on the left in a safe, convenient, legal place, and I'm going to pull out in a minute. Now, if I've not got good control over the car, I'm going to be constantly fiddling about with the gear, making sure I'm in 1st gear, handbrake, okay, clutch. I'm going to be concentrating down here at my feet. I'm not looking up ahead at me, and I'm not looking at my rear view mirror. I'm not going to be looking at my right mirror. How am I going to know it's safe? So because I've got good control over my car, I'm concentrating what's around me, what's behind me. I can see there's a car coming in the distance. I'll check my mirrors, give a signal, and I wait here. I see there's a gap coming up. I'm not focused on the controls whatsoever. I know it's safe, and I've been able to move off, get it up to 2nd gear, and start building up my speed to match the speed of the road should it be safe. No issues whatsoever. Why? Because I'm comfortable with what I'm doing in the car. I've not got an issue. You need to understand how the road works. You need to know what to expect. When you're coming up to a junction, you've got to understand that the road might split into 3 lanes, it might split into 2 lanes. You're coming up to a roundabout, you know what lane to take, even though there's only 1 lane, because you've prepared yourself mentally that if there is a right lane, I'm going to be in the right lane. If there is a left lane, I might need to be in the left lane. You must have good road knowledge. Okay, up in the distance, I can see a parked car on the left. The road seems quite wide, so I'm guessing it's going to be a dual carriageway, so I'll keep my car to the right. And look, it's a dual carriageway. The only reason I've made that easy for me is because I'm looking up ahead, I'm seeing little signs, little things in the road, and that's giving me a better understanding as to what could possibly happen. And so when it does happen, I'm already prepared for it because I've got that map in my mind, that possibility in my mind. So I'll come up to this roundabout here. I'm going to be going 2nd exit straight on, so I'll put a left signal on because I'm going to switch over the lanes. And because there's 2 lanes here, I've got good knowledge, and I know there must be 2 lanes within the roundabout. Although there's no markings on the ground, I'm going to keep my car to the left, check my mirror signal left, and exit into my exit. That was very nice from him. Cut me off there. But the fact of the matter is, because I know that when you're coming from a 2-lane dual carriageway into a roundabout, there must be 2 lanes in the roundabout. That's my knowledge taking hold of my driving there. And I'm only making it easy for myself because I'm prepared. I'm thinking about these things well in advance. The third one is basically a mistake that a lot of people tend to make. A lot of learners make this, whereby they're only looking at their hands, they're only looking at their bonnet, they're only looking at the road just in front of their car. You need to look as far up the road as possible. If you've got a bend coming up, you've got to understand how limit points work. And one of the ways in which you're going to be able to allow yourself to look far up the road is if you've got number 1 down and you've got good control over your vehicle. So currently we're driving around a bend. I can see a bus stop, I can see a guy standing behind a tree, so I'm reducing my speed ever so slightly just in case he was to cross. Now I can see zebra crossing, I'm looking both ways, seems safe, so I'm not going to treat it like a zebra crossing, I'll treat it like a normal road because nobody's anywhere close to it. I can see the sign, I can see this sign, I can see the low bridge, I can see a bend coming up, my limit point's quite close to me, so I'm going to reduce my speed. I'm leaning over slightly in my seat, having a look. Yeah, it seems safe. We're going 2nd exit straight on, no need for a signal. Clutch in, 2nd gear, and I'm looking around the bend. I'm looking as far as I possibly can, making that decision. He's turning left, so I can carry on going. check my mirrors again, signal left again. My view's restricted because of these bushes, so I'm looking around, making sure it's safe. I can see them crossing, and I can see a bend. By the time I get there, they'll have crossed. Can't see much around the bend, so I'll keep it in second gear. All of these decisions that I'm making, it's simply because I'm looking as far up the road as possible, and that's helping me see what's happening and what could possibly happen. And so I'm able to make good decisions. Okay, now in terms of use of speed, I'm reducing my speed slightly here just because I'm having a bit of a, I've got a parked car on the left and an oncoming vehicle on the right. So in terms of use of speed, I've just seen him pull in, and I've reduced my speed. Now I can't see much because I'm quite close to him. Now I can, but there's a bend coming up, so I'm not going to go and do the full 30 miles an hour. I'll keep my speed just under 30. I'll be doing 26 or something. I'm doing 24 currently because there's a parked van and I'm looking up ahead of the road and I can't see much. Now I'm able to see better. So if you can't see much, why would you make your observations that much harder by increasing your speed? Makes no sense. So at the end of the road, we're going to be turning left. And again, it's an obstacle, right? It's a hazard, it's a roundabout. There's going to be cars up ahead, there's parked cars on both sides. So I'm reducing my speed early so I get a good view. So I'm going left, check my mirrors, giving that signal. I've reduced my speed quite a bit, clutch down into first gear because I'm not going to be going. I can't see much. I can't see much into the new road either, so I'm going to keep the car nice and slow. There's somebody crossing on the zebra crossing. I'll keep my speed slow until he moves across. And now he seems safe. Now I could pick up speed. There you go. You've got to actually look. Okay? You've got to actually look. You've got to actually reduce your speed. If you've not reduced your speed coming up towards a hazard, there's no way on God's green earth that you're going to be able to have good observations or keep up with good observations at least. The last thing that I would say is that whilst you're learning in your lessons, practice commentary driving. You need to be able to talk about what's happening and how it's affecting you. Two main questions that you've got to ask yourself: what's happening? What could happen? What's happening? How is it affecting me? These are the questions that you've got to ask yourself, and you've got to learn to commentate. The previous clips, as I'm driving, I'm commentating. I'm commentating on what's happening, what could happen, how is it affecting me, what I'm doing, all of these things. And because I'm commentating on what I'm doing and what's happening, I'm not going to really lose focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. So where will the mistakes creep in from? A lot of mistakes that learners make is because they're not concentrating. But if you're talking and you're forcing yourself to concentrate, how are you going to make those mistakes? Try these 5 driving tips in your driving lessons. If you like the video, thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing, please do subscribe. It really helps the channel. Thank you, and see you next time.